going on, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Now today I want to talk about Chai the Greatest. I think it's Chai the Greatest. I think that we are going to get into what she said about the Kai Cenat's friend allegations that recently came out. She spoke her initial thoughts on Twitch, I think it was.
I just find it hard to believe that she got and it was hella people at the party. Because I don't know, like, if that girl really got, I would have expected her to scream, fight. Like, it's hella, I'm sorry, our word. It's hella people that was at the party. So she could have got saved. You know what I'm saying? She could have got, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody could have stopped it. You know what I'm saying? But we won't know. Why didn't she say anything? I don't know. But if I'm getting, especially anal, that's what it sounds. If I'm getting anal, oh, bitch, I'm screaming. Oh, help, help, help. All that. Girl, I'm going hard. But like I said, bro, I feel like Kai should never told the girl to go upstairs in the room. I do feel like that's where that was pretty bad. I feel like bro should have never told her to go upstairs in the room, especially if you don't know this girl like that. You just met this girl yesterday. You know this girl is drunk, probably not sober in her right mind. That right there would have been, oh, fuck no. Shawty drunk too? Oh, hell no. I'm not even finna shake Shawty hand. Because people be weird, y'all. People be weird. Like, I don't want y'all to think for a second it's not a lot of women out here or men out here who, when they get around an influencer or somebody with clout or status, they going hard. Like, I feel like they would try to do anything to sabotage you, bro. That's why you shouldn't trust nobody, especially a motherfucker you just met yesterday. Period, point blank. That shit crazy. Shawty should have never went to the party by herself with a bunch of niggas. Come on, bro. That's bad. You know what I'm saying? That's bad. First shit like that. For shit like that. She said she got the R word. This is why you don't go around men by yourself, especially in that environment. You don't do that. This could have been avoided. And I just really hope, you know what I'm saying, Kai, you know what I'm saying, Kai get his name cleared. You feel me? I really hope what's under dark going. I hope Shawty not capping, bro. I hope she not lying about that, bro. I really hope she not lying. I really hope.
And she received quite a lot of backlash for what she said. So let's get into it. Let's recap that, and then I'm going to tell y'all exactly how I feel about it. So if you don't know the allegations that's going around, a young lady on Twitter expressed how she went over to a party at Kai Cenat's house, and he had a gang of his friends there. As the night went on, I believe she got sleepy, maybe induced by alcohol. I get sleepy when I start drinking too. But Kai told her that she can go lay down in a room upstairs. She did so, and that is when the alleged R word happened, right? And the person that has done this, his face is right here, allegedly. You know, as she was in the room laying down, he came in there and X, Y, and Z. Now, this is a police matter, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm not the person that's going to full out. Stuff like that, you got to wait for it to play out. What Chai the Greatest said was not so great. It was along the lines of, well, why didn't she do this? And why didn't she do that? And you know that you're not supposed to do this. Just basically blaming the victim for what was done. But on the back end, if something happens to a woman that is dressed provocatively, she gets R-worded just on the street. You know what I'm saying? Just thrown like a piece of trash into an alley and done whatever to. Would it be right for the police to say, well, why do you have that on? what you have on is sexually suggestive? Or would it be wrong for the police to believe that you as the victim is a prostitute? As much as we fight for justice for this person and that person, mind you, a lot of them are black men. On the back end and within the same token, we shame each other for what we didn't do that we should have did. And in circumstances like this, if you've never been frozen with fear, if you've never been sexually violated, if you don't have that level of compassion to at least understand that nobody knows what to do. If everybody knew what to do, then this wouldn't happen. If everybody knew what to do, we would all know how to fight them off. If it's 1, 2, however many. Just like a movie. But if you don't have just a moral compass to understand that things like this happen worldwide and we can't blame victims, if you don't understand that, then maybe you shouldn't speak on it. But her initial response to the backlash was, I said what I said. She felt very confident that what she said was right until everybody doubled down on the backlash. And now it's a 4, almost 5-minute apology. That's not a long enough apology, mind you. I really wasn't going to do this video, but in clicking on her apology video after saying I said what I said, she had the comments off. My thing is, if you are afraid to receive backlash, you shouldn't speak on it. And that's the overall point of this. You're scared to face backlash. Pretty much all of these social media influencers are very opinionated until they get called out by a lot of people. They stay in a bubble if it's just a few hundred people saying this or that. They stay just in a bubble and say, I said what I said. Until it's more and more and more people telling you that you're wrong. If you turn off comments to me, especially with something like this, it means that you only are accepting feedback from a certain demographic. And that's your supporters. You're not wanting feedback from real people. Real people that don't follow you but still want to educate you. After saying I said what I said and then getting called out even more, she apologized, and then she wrote out a whole little post and said that she won't be speaking on serious topics anymore. And that's not the point, right? Nobody told you to shut up about what you really want to talk about, but you have to educate yourself. And this is why I be saying that you have to hear how somebody talks and how they feel about really serious things before you really give them so much support to is where they in a nice place, but where are you? People be making these type of people rich, but when they open their mouth about serious things, it is not received well. Because it shows where the head is at. Yeah, you can make money. And pretty much I'm saying that anybody can. Smart, dumb, uneducated, well-educated, young, old, etc., etc. We in a day and age where you have to use your voice and make it count. But you do have to be educated in order to not only use your voice, but make valid points. In talking about the Kai Cenat's friend situation, I would have gave advice all the way around. Advice that can save all of them. If you having demonic thoughts or sick sexual thoughts, you need to go somewhere with that. All by yourself. because you don't want people around that's literally walking liabilities. I would give advice. What advice I would give Chythegreatest is work on being great. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, if you on social media, period, you have to know what it comes with. You have to know that it's going to be good days and bad days. But you know what? Girls like her, they are so spoiled to just having the good days, and it be to the point where they can't handle the bad days. If you can't handle backlash, stop trying to be fake deep. Stop trying to act like you know a whole bunch and you still very, very young. It's still a lot that you have to learn. I think that a lot of young people nowadays, they making so much money on the internet that they think that they know it all just because they can make money on the internet. Being grown, it doesn't determine, oh, you have your own place, oh, you have your own house or own apartment or own car. That doesn't determine if you're grown or not. Because a lot of times, people that are around their early 20s are getting thrown out of their place because why? They never knew how to pay bills. They never knew how to maintain a place. They never knew that noise complaints are real. And they're getting full-blown evictions, right? Having a place and having certain materialistic items and even having a BBL doesn't make you educated. You know, going to school for what? How long did we go to school? 12, 14, 15 years? Going to school and getting through it, receiving your diploma doesn't mean that you're fully educated about real life topics and real life issues. Don't jump into something that you know nothing of. And that could be a lot of things, right? And then start to backtrack. And honestly, I sense that it might have been a little bit of tension, and hence comes, that's where the shade comes from of, well, why didn't you do this and do that? The thing about it is, maybe things like that don't happen to you specifically, Chythegreatest. You know, unfortunately, a lot of very beautiful young women get taken advantage of, and it's of no fault of their own, but looking so damn good that people can't keep their hands to themselves. Maybe you just haven't been through that, and that's good, right? But it also means that you ain't had no friends that been through it. You ain't had no family members to tell you about real shit that they done been through, about being sexually violated. You just lack knowledge 100% on this issue. And the reason why a lot of people are being pushed to talk about deep things is because they have a huge following. Why not, right? But also, what they was doing is not working for them no more. Think about it. What I know from this Chythegreatest person is she was doing hella pranks, and that's how she got her following. I think that she probably should have stuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously doing them pranks was working better and getting less backlash than you opening your mouth talking about sexual assault, etc, etc. I think that another person that doesn't really know how to take backlash is Jada. She's another one that always throws shots at the internet. And it's like, you could say this, you could say that, you could say anything in between about the internet, but you can't take accountability for the personality that you portrayed to people. That's what they fell in love with, versus them seeing you for more than 15 minutes on your story or on live. They seeing you on a show in which you can't control. You can't control what's put in there and what's left out. So it makes you look crazy. But you blame editing, you blame all of these things, including the people around you, instead of taking accountability like, okay, y'all are adjusting to who I am, so I'm just gonna ride this backlash out. But no, she continues to say this, that, and the fourth about the internet. And it's like, well, why don't you just tell us that you're sensitive? You know, why don't you just tell us that before people knew the real you and they got to know more of your personality, it was a lot of things that they didn't like. And not everybody is going to like you, but you got spoiled to a lot of people liking you at one time. You know, it boosted your ego. It made you feel like you could say whatever. It made you feel like, you know, you can do this and do that, and it is what it is. Another example I have is like, okay, say Jada posts a quote on her story, and a lot of people would read that quote and be like, oh, she's sad. In response, she would say, oh, I'm just not gonna post no quotes no more because people think I'm sad. Why don't you just tell people how you feeling? I mean, if the quote doesn't relate to you in this current moment in time, tell us how you relate to this at all. Or you could really help people with that, because they're going to take that quote and run with it anyway. Tell us you sad, bitch. Tell us you sad, but no, you gonna say, oh, I'm just not gonna post quotes so that I protect my peace. You still on the internet. It's 2023. If y'all don't realize that anybody can get plastic surgery, anybody can work out in a gym, anybody can gain a following, but not everybody will last. Everybody will not last because of their sensitivity. Everybody is not going to last because of fear of getting backlash, fear of receiving it at all, or fear of receiving it to a certain degree that they didn't expect. It's not that they can't handle it, they don't want to. They don't want to be the ones to handle it. They want to be the ones to get the comments with the heart eyes and just shallow shit. It's a real time. If all you want to do is model clothes and do this and do that, we'll do that. But when it's real topics to be talked about and discussed, if you're not real, don't speak on it. Ain't nobody telling you. I'm sure some people did tell them to just shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just shut up. Don't say nothing about nothing. And I wouldn't say that. I would just say, think before you speak. We've learned these things in what grade? Think before you speak. That will save you a lot. But within your spirit and your soul, if you know you're not real, or you know you done seen some real motherfuckers and you cannot give it up that way and really stand on your opinion until somebody knock you off your motherfucking pedestal, you can't talk about it. Because I have certain feelings about certain things that have happened recently or in the past. And those things haven't changed. All they've done is develop more into my beliefs of what I believe happened. Nobody's gonna sway me on that. I'm big on begging to differ. So when it comes to backlash, it ain't nothing that I can't handle. And it ain't nothing that I can't respond to. I would never intentionally cut off my comments. Some people do that. They have a feature where you can just disable it yourself. And then sometimes YouTube does disable your comments by themselves. But more often than not, it is happening manually. Meaning you got to go in and do it yourself when you're uploading a video and things to that nature. So I think that she really don't want to hear all of what people has to say. And that really means that you just can't be over here doing it. And why would you go over to Twitch and be so inspired by Kai Cenat and then go over there and talk so much trash about the whole situation? You shouldn't even spoke on that. If you even want to collab with any one of them, that was the wrong move to make. Because what it seemed like is, and that's who I believe she is. I believe that she's very boy crazy. Any boy that give her some attention, in a few months, she gonna be saying, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I think that being as though she has linked up with certain YouTube people and stuff like that in the past, she was trying to be in favor of Kai Cenat. And like I said, it backfired on her. But you can't, it's nothing to be in favor of. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yes, that happened at his house. And again, that's a police matter, and that's going to go down how it goes down. But I don't even see why I bring it up, you know, on a platform that is basically, you know, he's running this shit for the black creators. So Chythegreatest, she just got to work on being greater. You know what I'm saying? Educating herself a lot better. Getting around real people. I mean, she could talk to her mom about this, but, you know, sometimes you need even older people to tell you the history of what our people specifically went through and had to, you know, not press charges on these gross men because we was in fear of our lives. And like, it's just so much that goes into it, in which we can see that she just hasn't been exposed to, even, you know, just educating herself up until this point. It's sad to not be aware of certain circumstances that would make a woman not tell her truth or not persecute or press charges. Like, I hope her mom jumped down her throat or stuck her foot up, because that was stupid to go on a live platform and just, like, you have the topic and you just spitfire, you're saying shit that is really insensitive. And those type of responses to the R word and to sexual assault victims is why a lot of them remain silent. That response right there, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? That's not fair. That's not fair, because nobody, even with all that being said, nobody has the right to violate you, do they? I don't know if it's any coming back for this right now, because they ain't going to let her live for a while. And I damn sure ain't going to forget, because it just shows where you are mentally. And it means that your Instagram following and YouTube following means nothing if you are not well educated. You won't survive. Shit is getting realer and realer. If you're not going to talk about real shit, what you going to do? Just play games on Twitch? That's being done already. I mean, I would never want to go to a platform and do the exact same thing as other people are doing just because I see that one or two or a few of them are successful. And Kai Cenat and them, they made it to where they don't have to talk about extremely serious things up until it gets like this, sure. But they don't have to necessarily talk about very, very serious things, because they branded themselves to have fun and to do challenges and to, like, you don't always have to try to, when you see podcasts and people talking about real issues, some people just can't emulate that, and that's fine. It just shows where you are. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna get on out of here. Hopefully she educates herself. She said that some of her supporters, keyword supporters, not real people, just supporters who want to let her know about sexual assault in the R word and stuff like that. and that she listened to them and she now understands this, that, and the fourth. And I don't really think that it can happen that fast. You know what I'm saying? You really have to look at certain documentaries and really find a pattern of what was done to these women. Find a pattern of what you could avoid based on their experience, but don't tell them what they should have did or could have did based on what you think. When you wasn't in the party, you wasn't in the house, you wasn't in the room. You wasn't invited to Kai Cenat house. It's just like, but you wanted to be. Anyways, yeah, this should be a lesson to all young YouTubers, bloggers, whatever you want to call them. Educate yourself. Because stuff like this will follow you for the rest of your life. And it's sad to say that, but it will. So without further ado, it's your girl B Octavia. Leave your comments down below, and I will see y'all in my next video.